Hey guys, it's Bad Avenger. I'm back with another installment of comic books that I picked up during the week. Tomorrow's new comic book day. There's a few books that I may pick up that kind of enticed me. But what I want to show is what I have picked up recently. And this book I pulled out of my collection. I was just digging through, and I noticed something about this book. This is the second printing of Batman, DC Rebirth. And the problem I'm having with it, now I pulled out some more of the DC Rebirth second printings of issue number ones like Flash and Superman. And I noticed that in their second printings, down in the UPC symbol box, they all delineated as the second printing. This book, for some reason, marks it as a first print, which it isn't. It's a second print. So my question is that an error or whatever? I know that in comic book realm, they do note the UPC symbol as a first printing, but this is definitely a second printing book. Because all the second printing books came out, they had that orange signage at the top. So, I mean, it's something you can take with a grain of salt. If you're out there picking up, back issues or whatever, it might be worth your while. Well, even without that, this book is worthwhile because it's the first appearance of Gotham and Gotham Girl. So, that's one reason to get this book. But it just perplexed me about the why they labeled it as a first printing when it is actually a second printing book. And other books that I've seen like this all are the same. So it's not a printing error, but I think, I don't know what to call it, but hey, there it is. Starting with the books that I picked up, the new books that I picked up. Justice League number 35, Year of the Villain. Detective Comics number 1015, Mr. and Mrs. Freeze. Now this book I got my eye on as a long spec book. This one and 1014, first appearance of, well, not really her first appearance, but her first appearance outside of the I call it the giant test tube. But now that she's in this issue, she becomes a actual super villain. So it might be worth your while investing in this book for the long term. I definitely picked up Joe Hill, Black Label, The Dollhouse number 1. I think it's time for more of suspense and horror comic books to make a return. And being the son of Stephen King doesn't hurt. Far Sector number 1, I picked that up. This book is pretty hot. It seemed pretty good. I didn't have any real problem with it. That's the variant cover. I think that's the B cover. And I think, that's the C cover. I have the A cover, but it's at my comic book shop, and I'll be picking that up on Friday. Forgot the name of this book, Folklands, or whatever, but this is the B cover to that. I really like that cover. Very, very nicely done. Now on to the books that I got for $2. Vamps, number 1. I liked it for the Brian Boland cover. I think it was really, really good. I found the DC Universe, another copy of Green Lantern number 52. They're hard. DC Universe books are kind of hard to find, but to me, I always run across, when I do run across them, Green Lanterns, Flash, and Superman are Action Comics seem to be the ones that are mainly reprinted the most. But they say there's over 500 different variations of DC Universe books, so there's plenty of them. There's no shortage of them. It's just the fact that they're harder to find. And they're really, really harder to find in pretty good condition because a lot of them are really beat. This book I see all day long. I just picked up a couple more copies just for the front of it for $2. What the heck? It's the first cover appearance of Star. And this is this second printing of Captain Marvel number 8. So I picked up 2 more copies of that. This book was hot for a minute. They were talking about making this a television show or something with Dakota North. This is issue number 1. But I haven't heard any more news about it. It may still be in production or consideration. I'm not sure. Now, I remember I showed this book. This was the alternate cover of Uncanny X-Men number 377. And like I said, these are like 1 and 4 or whatever. But back then, they were hard to find. They're still kind of hard to find because this was before you had the real variant cover craze. But I did find, the reason I'm showing this is because I found the X-Men other half of it. X-Men number 97, which is also a 1 and 4 variant. This is the other half. And I was like, wow, I found 2 copies of it actually. But it show up, I don't want to, let me shrink my screen down. Can't do it, won't let me do it. But, okay, I'll just take the book out and do it like this, best I can. But it connects like that. And it's drawn, the cover is drawn by Linnell Yu. I got this book for the cover. I thought it was a really fascinating cover by Tan for Red Sonja, issue number 7. This Arthur Adams New Mutants number 39. I dug that cover too, so I picked that one up. A Matina cover for Shadowland issue 3 of 3 with Moon Knight. That's a really boss looking cover. I like that cover. Found another copy of X-Man number 15 with first appearance of Onslaught. I got this book, Black Pearl, was in the $2 box. And this was written by Mark Hamill and drawn, I think, by Eric Johnson. And I looked at it further because I barely saw it, but it's autographed by Mark Hamill and Eric Johnson. So I was quite happy about that. And wow, finding the $2 bin. Suicide Squad, Secret Origins number 14. First appearance of the modern Suicide Squad. I picked that up. I find this pretty often. And I remember when I first was looking for this book, I had a hard time finding it till I found one. And it was in really beat up condition. Then, like, I would say 6 months later, this book has been like popping up. And I've been picking it up ever so often. Now, these books are a little different. These are books I found at the Dollar Tree. And I was in the Dollar Tree. And what makes them special is that they're from Peachtree Playthings. I went on their website and to try to find what's going on with them as far as producing comic books or whatever. And couldn't find nothing. And it doesn't have a cover price. I guess because it was in the dollar store. Everything's in the Dollar Tree is $1 anyway. But yeah, I picked this up. Disney Princesses number 1. Disney's Frozen number 1. Toy Story number 1. And the last one, it was 4 of them that were printed. And each of them say like, look out for issue number 2. So I'll keep my eye out for them. Because these got to be seriously low printed books. Because it's not that many Dollar Tree around. I mean, they're around. But I went into a few of the other ones. And they didn't have these. And the ones I got, the store I got these from, there was only like maybe 3 a piece. So I don't know. From the indications of it, they're not widely printed. you know. But you know me, a comic book is a comic book is a comic book. I'm gonna get it. If I got a itchy feeling about it, I'll grab it. Found this in another copy of The Simpsons comics, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, issue 6, issue 7, issue 8, 9, and issue number 10. Pick those up. And they had to run, I would say, roughly all the way up to like issue number 52 or whatever. But I only wanted really the first 10 issues of The Simpsons. I already had like multiple copies of the first issue, but I really wanted the first 10. So I've got them. I was happy to get that. Now this book cost me $5. I didn't really look at it. I mean, it's a good book, Chamber Chills, but it has quite a bit of spine wear on it, and I'm a stickler for condition, but I'm still glad I got it. First issue of that book. And let's see what else I got. I paid $5 for this book. It makes my second copy of that. Star Wars Boba Fett, the one shot, the cover is drawn by Adam Hughes. Now I got what is this over here? Some more $2 books that I picked up yesterday. Might as well show them, because I think, I don't know what's going on with this COPPA thing. And, but like I said, I feel for those who have big, a big website or video site or whatever, YouTube site. And 'cause I know it's got to be really mind-frazzling, especially if you put your time and effort into something and you made it into something that's profitable for you. And I know a lot of the YouTubers, that is their income. You know, they put all their time into making their YouTube site. And with this new law, with the ambiguity of it, it's going to be hard. So I think for me, I'm going to basically, this might be my last video for a while, and I'm going to go back and figure if I'm going to delete my videos or I'm just going to check them off or whatever. But I'm going to take a break for a while and see what happens, because it's supposed to be enacted in January. I might take a break. I may come back, and then again, I may find that I may not want to come back. But I don't know. But I think I want to see what happens before I make that decision. And the best way for me to do it is to just watch videos. And so I'm still going to buy comics and collect them. But as far as putting them on, making videos, I think I'm going to take a break for a while. And let this play out and see what's going on with it. Because I watched Howler Mouse, and I just got done watching Alex the Comic Quarter's video concerning this. And it's a serious matter. And the thing is, a lot of people are thinking it's YouTube. It's not YouTube. It's from your government. And you can play around with it if you want, and you got to look at it from a point. See, we look at it from a point of a collector, you know, that, you know, we're just showing comic books. But you got to look at it from the government non-collector view, because that's what they're going to look at it as. They're going to look at it as characters that kids are enticed by. And superheroes have been related to kids since day one. When comic books first came out, they were made for kids. We as collectors have morphed it into something different, but it still doesn't change the fact that the characters are really regulated for children. You have underwear for kids, you have clothing for kids, you have cups, school books, pencils, pens, everything, wallpaper, pillows, pajamas, everything that have these characters on it for children. And my thinking is that the government is going to look at it that way. You know, I could be wrong, and hopefully I am, but I'm not taking any chances. I don't have $42,000 to give to the government per video that they think I may have overstepped the bounds or whatever. I'm not gambling like that. You know, I love the community. I love my YouTube channel, but when it comes down to it, my channel is not big at all. And like I said from the beginning, I didn't do this for the monetary part of it. I did it for the fun of it because it's nice to talk to people about comics when you've been doing it and you really don't have too many people to talk to about it. But yeah, I will miss it. But there's Instagram, you know. I can always show books on Instagram. So I'm not really pressed. But for those who have major channels, you know, I feel for you. I really do feel for you. Because it's hard when you done built something up from the ground and put your blood, sweat, and tears into it. And then something comes along and just hits you in the gut. You know, that's messed up. But, you know, it is what it is. Now, getting back to what I was saying, Batgirl issue #1 special with the Mike Mignola cover. I picked that up in the $2 bin. Spider-Man, the Mangaverse. This Spider-Man has not seen the light of day in any of the Spider-Verse, anything in Spider-Verse. So we have to wait and see. You're going to apparently show the Spider-Man from Japan. He's supposed to make an appearance in the movies. So this one may not be far behind. I found another copy of John Wick #2. I always find these. I run into this book a lot. X-Men #25 with the hologram of Gambit in it. And this is the issue where Magneto pulls the adamantium out of Wolverine's body, which causes Wolverine to revert to like an animalistic character with no nose for a while. Okay. But, yeah, like I said, I run into this book a lot. In fact, all the hologram books like that I run into. I picked up Empty Man, the second volume of Empty Man #1, which I thought was the first volume until I got home and really checked it out. But, $2. It is what it is. And I got a copy of The Uncanny X-Men #375. And that's basically all that I've gotten for now. Tomorrow's another day. And y'all guys just hunker down because it's going to be a wild ride. That's the only thing I can tell you. And for those who think it's a joke, you know, I feel for you because if you got $42,000 to just give back to the government, knock yourselves out. But one thing I know about the government, and you should know, like with the IRS, they're going to come. They're going to come. And I watched some videos from the guy that was representing COPPA, or whatever you want to call it. And he's dead serious. And he said they have an allogram or whatever that can go through thousands upon thousands of videos quickly. So, I mean, they got the technology to go through this stuff, you know. So, I mean, just be wise in what you're doing and really be cautious. I hate to see anybody get hit with a fine like that. It's just, that's a life damaging fine, you know, to have that on you like that, man. It'll alter your life, especially if you really just doing this for fun or to, you know, start hopefully a new life for you with videos. But getting hit from the government is no fun, you know. And on that note, this is the Bad Avenger. I hate to be so solemn on this, but it just really worries me, And it doesn't really worry me because, like I said, I have a small channel. I may just delete the whole thing and come back as brand new with a different way of doing things, you know. But it is what it is. Y'all guys be well. Take care. Be cautious. It's going to be a wild ride. Bad Avenger. Later.